Welcome to the beautiful Santa Anita Park, the showplace. So Southern California welcomes you. HRFL standings were shaken up after last week's draft, and a new stable finds itself in first place. But it's a familiar position. Last year's champion now has the inside track to repeat. Two stables with a lot of firepower are hot on his tail, with Alex and Kalen. We're set up for an exciting three-way race in the season's final stretch. Our core stables are also lurking, with a championship still within reach. At the stomping grounds of the great Zenyatta, 9 of the top female competitors in the sport await their chance at history. Apology Accepted is ready to defend her crown. Will Beach Carrot avenge her second place finish last year and win here at the Great Race Place? Will a new name arise and capture this year's crown? As Chris Lewis's Google Sheets based horse racing simulation Dynasty Fantasy League continues, this is the Zenyatta Stakes. And we welcome you to beautiful Santa Anita Park for today's action. And looks like the weather's a little down today. We've got some rain here. So our dirt track will be running muddy, turf track will be yielding, and the synthetic track will still be running fast as per usual. But yeah, looking forward to the mudders out on the dirt track. And you're unaware, this is Jimmy Rakes, your stride by stride guide for today's action. Before we get to our races, though, let's kick it over to Chris for some more preview. Chris.
All right, yeah, thanks, Jimmy. We'll see how the rain affects the horses today. Um, all right, hey, what a difference a week can make. Here's a look at the standings after last race day and the day before that. So the big change, or I guess the change that I noted here between day 11 and 12 was that Alex climbed into the top three, passing Johnny after checkmate's uh, sprint championship win at Lewis Downs. Of course, now after the draft, the standings were really shaken up. Nate climbed from fifth place to first. And as you mentioned in the pregame monologue there, last year's champion in a familiar place. He's alongside us here in the booth too. We'll get to him in a minute. Other changes. Here's some more big risers. Charlie from sixth to fourth. And I think within striking distance of the top three and maybe the whole thing. Jimmy from seventh into fifth and Andrew from 11th into sixth. So those three stables are all in the money. Um, and Alex climbed from third to second as perhaps a surprise. Kalen uh, went from first down to third, so still definitely in the running, but a couple 100,000 behind Nate. Whereas before the draft, she had a $400,000 grip on first. Uh, the biggest movers were Brett from second to last and Johnny from fourth to 11th. It's the second year in a row that Brett from second place really spent on 2-year-olds, and Johnny followed suit this year. Uh, this might be a decent time to mention that there's going to be some rule tweaks for the draft next year and a couple other rule tweaks that I'll announce in the Slack. Uh, Oh, yes. I highlighted here Brett and Johnny because of the amounts I guess that Kalen spent. You could see here that had Brett just held tight, he'd have almost $100,000 lead on Nate, who's first place now, and Johnny would also be real close. But I think those tables are looking at next year now. All right. As for the draft, there were two A grade draftees. What did I just say? Went to Brett, and Mario time went to Johnny. Uh, that's why these horses were expensive, and it's why they fell in the standings so far. All right, we had four stakes races last time out. Here's the winners. It was Unknown Artist from Charlie's stable, the Dark Crusader for Mark's stable. That was Mark's first stakes win. Checkmate for Alex's stable, who's uh, developing quite the resume real early on here. And Jimmy, for your stable, Peterberg won. And a little highlight on Peterberg because it's nuts. He has now won stakes races at 9 furlongs, 12 furlongs, and 6 furlongs. So quite the Swiss Army knife and really versatile success.
My boy.
All right. I was able to catch up with Charlie earlier. Um, he agreed to do an interview with us. He couldn't join us live, although he's normally one of the most, uh, he attends just as much as anybody. But Colleen is not feeling well, and so he's there with her, and we hope she gets feeling better. He was able to submit some written answers for us. And Jimmy, maybe you can help me by reading his answers.
For sure.
All right. Well, I said, first, congratulations on the sprint championship last time out. Not only did Unknown Artist win the race, but you also got third place, and you had drafted the second place finisher while acting as a steward for Walt's stable last year. You seem to have an eye for these young horses. Is there any horse from your draft the rest of the league should watch out for?
Thanks, Chris. I was hoping to draft an A or B grade horse this time around, but there were very few and the prices were high. I am very happy with my C grade draftee, Civic Duty, though. I think he will be a contender, and I also have high hopes for on a technicality, one of my two D grade draftees.
I said, despite adding those horses in the draft, you moved up in the standings. There's some ground to make up, and you're now just outside the top three. Can you win this thing?
I am not sure about I can move into second or third with a good showing in the remaining stakes races. The stables at the top seem to have a comfortable lead this season, even with Kalen picking up a B grade horse in the draft. The competition at the top is really tough. Even with my sprint first and third last time, I didn't gain any ground on the leaders. It's only after some heavy spending at the draft by Johnny and Brett that I moved from sixth to fourth. But looking forward to the rest of the season for sure.
All right, and we thank Charlie again for joining us for that earlier. All right, let's get some Nate's knowledge. Nate, you with us?
Yes, I am. Thank you very much, Chris. So, for this week, my segment, I'm basing it on two comments made either during the previous broadcast or during the draft regarding horses that have had the most owners. There are now three horses that have had three owners. Bryce's Fester by me, Casey, and Christian, Gefilte Fish by Johnny, Zach, and Stefan, and Red Scamper by Andrew, Brett, and Zach. And I also wanted to mention that Gefilte Fish has raced as a free agent horse, so that's really four silks that have been on gefilte fish. So trying to get a feel for that one as everybody tries to get in there. The second one that I was on the previous broadcast is what you were wondering, what was the
Yeah.
most owned horses in a claiming race?
Yeah.
And that was the Breeders' Cup Day last year, race number two, where we had a full field of 20 owned horses in that $45,000 claimer. The next highest was the race day previous to that with 11 in a $20,000 claimer.
And how about
So
that?
there are your
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, I didn't
yes.
remember. I didn't remember that 20 owned horses in a claims race.
Yeah, so it's I was kind of shocked to find that too. It's like, whoa, I don't remember that at all.
All right. All right. Thanks, Nate. A little bit of a tonight or yeah, this afternoon preview. We have the Zenyatta Stakes and we have a defending champion out there. It's apology accepted, Jimmy's horse. Last time out, we had four A grade horses that went head to head in the four and up female sprint championship, and we could have had that again this week. But Portugal, the Fast, and Checkmate are not racing today. Uh, Beach Carrot and Apology Accepted, though, are. And as Jimmy mentioned in the opening monologue, Beach Carrot was second to Apology Accepted in last year's Zenyatta Stakes. Here's the rest of the field. So only 9 horses. Of course, we mentioned Beach Carrot and Apology Accepted, and they're going to line up shoulder to shoulder there in the gates. As stated, out of the three position won the Preakness, so that's huge. And of course, Pernicious is one of our all-time winningest horses. Um, so and lots of wins and second place finishes in this field. A lot of success competing tonight in that. All right, Jimmy, everyone's favorite segment. Who's your dark horse tonight?
All right. I'll admit, a little bit of a lazy segment because I'm going with one of my horses. Renegade Chop in the penultimate race of the night. As you can see, a D grade horse, couple other D grade horses, but main competition is those four C grade horses in the race. But I like Renegade's Chop's chances. She loves the short races. This is kind of a short, kind of mediocre, but two victories in her career so far. And so I'm going with Renegade Chop for the win in race number 7.
All right, we'll see. Let's see what else we got here. All right, here's one more look at the standings. Uh, Shaking up quite a bit from last time, but these top three stables again are Nate, Alex, and Kalen, with yeah, some new faces in the money in the top six too. All right, in the rain, so we'll head out to the track here in a minute. Here's race number one, guys.
All right, we're starting out in the mud, that dirt surface, and short one here. Just 8 horses ready to rock. I guess H, I, and J. And let's see. Oop, sorry. Pull my thing up there. There we go. Like I said, 7.5 furlongs on the dirt, and just $30,000 purse to get us started. Any other notes, y'all?
Yeah, everybody's probably going to be looking at Peony Express, but I'm looking at the next stall over for That Ain't Mine. The number one I grade horse in terms of prize money has 2 wins in previous starts, so probably maybe one of the bigger challengers for Peony Express in this one.
Yeah, I mean, Peony Express has 4 career wins, certainly sticks out. And Nate, is she on or is he on a streak? Is it?
No, last time out Peony Express lost, but it was, I think, 3 of the last 4 are
Okay.
wins.
All right. All right. Well, let's have them resolve it on the track.
Nice. Alrighty. Look at that mud. All right, let's get it going here. And they're off. Goes without saying, and the Royal Juror setting the pace early. 24/7 Peony Express now up in the top three. That Ain't Mine, Joyous Reunion, Body Surfer, Digital Clutter, and Mediocre Samaritan rounding out the field. 24/7 Peony Express and Joyous Reunion at the top of the field right now. Joyous Reunion with a big lead past the halfway point. The Royal Juror now up into second. Goes without saying, and 24/7 Peony Express trying to keep pace, but Joyous Reunion coming around that turn along with 24/7 Peony Express. The Rural Juror and Potty Surfer trying to keep pace, but it's a 2 horse race down the stretch. 24/7 Peony Express back and forth. Joyous Reunion now in the lead. And it's neck and neck, nose to nose. Rural Juror, Meteor Samaritan are making a run too. And by a nose, 24/7 Peony Express with the win. Is that win number 5 in their career? Did I read that
Win
right?
number 5, wow.
Woo! Mediocre Samaritan in second. Joyous Reunion with the show, followed by Body Surfer. The Rural Juror goes without saying. That Ain't Mine. And Digital Clutter. Congrats to the unowned 24/7 Peony Express.
Yeah, how about that? A fifth career win.
Wow.
Having a dream season right there.
And Jimmy, you really
With
nailed
no
it.
owner to celebrate. Oh.
No, no. Yeah, and Jimmy, you really nailed the rural juror pronunciation.
Oh, good.
Yeah. All
Getting warmed up quick here.
right, let's look at race number two.
Race number 2. We've got a claiming race. Only $4,500 needing to claim any of these horses. I got a feeling maybe we can get one of those sold here. But we'll find out. Just 6 horses in the race, and just one former winner, Oxford Comma, there in gate number 1, but they are J grade, so we'll see what happens. What you got, guys?
Yeah, it's a pretty rough field. In the 46 combined starts, they only have 4 combined top 3 finishes. So in this race alone, they're almost going to double that. So confidence up for these horses.
Yeah, wow. And of course,
Nice.
Future World looks like a heavy favorite, and by 2 grades over preeminence.
Indeed. All right, we're going to be on the turf for this one. 8.5 for, and everybody's getting money here. 6 horses, and they're off. Oxford, Comma out early along with Let's Not and Say We Did, setting the pace. Calamity there in third, followed by Det Cetera, Preeminence, and Future World. But it's Let's Not and Say We Did in the lead. In the backstretch, Preeminence right there. Oxford Comma and Calamity making their way up, but a two-horse race past the halfway point. Zach's got them both. Preeminence and Let's Not and Say We Did running this one. Calamity, Det Cetera, Oxford Comma, Future World rounding out the field. But it's Preeminence and Let's Not and Say We Did down the stretch. Preeminence trying to pull away. Let's Not and Say We Did keeping pace, but it looks like it's going to be Preeminence. Calamity making a late run along with Oxford Comma, but Preeminence with the win. Zach getting first and second with Let's Not and Say We Did. And Preeminence, Oxford Comma in third, followed by Det Cetera, Calamity, and Future World. Congrats to Zach. 1-2.
Yes, congrats, Zach. And then yeah, as you mentioned, Jimmy, this is a claiming race, $4,500. And so
Ooh.
you won't be surprised to hear that there was more than one claim on the F grade horse Future World. There were three claim submissions, and Kalen won the claim.
Ooh. All right.
Kalen says, "I don't want it."
I
After
don't want, yeah.
after tonight's performance, that might be a one-off.
Maybe you're buying low there.
There you go, buying low.
Nice. 4,500 for the trailer there. And
no other claims other than that.
all right. All right. Let's head to race number 3. Back to the mud. And another 7.5 furlongs there on the mud. And 13 horse field. And lots of Fs. Lots of Fs for Fenton here. So should be a close one. Yeah, what you got, guys? Any good notes?
Well, it's the first race back for Liberty and Genre coming off of their nursing, so excited to see them back. And it's good to see you again in good form for the first and a second in the last 2 outings, both on wet ground. So maybe it'll be an advantage for them again here.
Ooh, all right.
Nice, good note there.
And I didn't even know it was going to be raining. So
He's had it in his back pocket.
There you go.
Well, what sticks out to me like a sore thumb is how much more success Nate's two horses have had than the rest of the field. The only multi-time winners, and they both have multiple second place finishes and by far the most prize money, lining up shoulder to shoulder, so maybe they can work together in the 3 and 4 spot.
Indeed. And yeah, as Nate noted, the moms are back today. 2 of my moms there in this race. As we said, Liberty and Genre. And last horse is in the gate. And they're off. New Alliance jumps out of the gate quick, followed by Coach Cleaver. Inclement weather, appropriately up in the top 3 right now. Coach Cleaver down in 4th. Rickety Cricket now up in a 2nd, but New Alliance setting the pace over a full length past the field, almost 2. As we're past the halfway point, Lightning Section now up in the 3rd, but it's Rickety Cricket there in 2nd. Trying to catch New Alliance, but a full length back. Lightning Section, a full length back to Rickety Cricket, and the rest of the field now catching up to Lightning Section. New Alliance running it still. Full length lead over the field. Rickety Cricket in 2nd. Genre making a late run, but it's New Alliance. Just about wire to wire. Another win for Zach. Rickety Cricket there in 2nd for Walt. And my girl Genre, the mom, making it up into 3rd. Followed by Inclement Weather. It's good to see you again. Gadsden Tide, Usurper, Lightning Section, Moratorium, Liberty, Television Static, Indigo, Esperanza, and Coach Cleaver, the trailer. Congrats again to Zach. Back-to-back wins now?
Back to back.
Mixing them up. There we go.
Yeah, 1st and 2nd in the last race and 1st in this one. And so convincingly, my goodness.
It was ridiculous.
And then really Rickety Cricket's 2nd place finish, there was some gap between Rickety Cricket and 3rd.
Indeed.
All right. So yeah,
nice. New Alliance.
Congrats again to Zach.
Nice. All righty.
Zach's not in this next one.
He can't win this one. All right, race number 4. Still in the mud, but we're going to go 10.5 furlongs for this one. F, G, and H. So should be close here. I've got the Professor there in gate 5 as one of our F grade horses. Previous winner. And who else you guys looking out for?
I'm looking out for Formulaic having a good season so far. Three top threes, third in as far as prize money for F grade horses. So keep an eye on Formulaic.
All right.
Alrighty. Back out to the mud. And the horses are in the gate and they're off. The Velocitizer, Formulaic, and Deep Blue Sea out early. But the field is close there. Angel now up in the second. Antithesis making the 1 and 2 here for Johnny. Antithesis and Formulaic as we hit the halfway point. Velocitizer now up in the second. Angel making a run. Formulaic now taking the lead. Johnny's still in the top two with the Velocitizer and the Professor looming. Antithesis taking a lead, trying to leave Formulaic and everybody else behind, but it's not happening. Antithesis and Formulaic, two-horse race. The Professor trying to keep pace, but it looks like Johnny's fighting for first and second. Formulaic gets the win, followed by Antithesis. The Professor makes it another show for me. Deep Blue Sea there in fourth, followed by the Velocitizer Angel. They're in cahoots, Fighting Orange, and forget about it. We forgot about it down there in last. But Johnny, 1-2. Second, Zach did 1-2 earlier. Johnny now with the 1-2 finish.
Yeah, how about that? Congrats, Johnny.
Nicely done.
The race for second ended up being closer than it looked like the whole way.
Yeah, the Professor tried to stick that nose out there, but couldn't quite get that photo finish.
All right, that's the halfway point on tonight's race schedule. Let's look at race 5.
Alrighty. Race number 5. We'll go over to the turf for a short one, 7.5 furlongs. And 1 D grade horse, seat back and tray table, and 7 E grade. What you looking for, guys?
Another return from one of your horses, Jimmy Swamp Knocker, coming back
Yes.
off the layoff. The 3-year-old female sprint champion. So coming back, looking at her. And also, oh, I wanted to mention Gunslinger. Even though they have 5 top 3 finishes, none of them have been as an E grade yet. So maybe can change that and turn that
Ooh.
around for Johnny.
All right. Must have been an F grade last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's do it.
All right, back out to the track. Turf track is ready. Last horse in the gate, and they're off. Seat back and tray table setting the pace earlier. Swamp Knocker there in second. Gladiator's Best as well. Frequent Flyer Miles now up in the top 3. Gunslinger, Bamboozle, Boom Shakalaka, Evergreen Terrace, and Gladiator's Best rounding out the field. Gladiator's Best now up in the second. Swamp Knocker with the lead, though, past the halfway point. Gunslinger, Frequent Flyer Miles right there, keeping pace. Seat back and tray table, Evergreen Terrace, Gladiator's Best, all trying to make it a race. But Frequent Flyer Miles setting the pace. We come around the turn. Gunslinger now overtaken. Frequent Flyer Miles. Seat back and tray table now up in the second, but it's still close. 3-horse race, maybe even more as we come down the stretch. Swamp Knocker trying to get in there and does and gets the win. Swamp Knocker passing everybody late for the win. Seat back and tray table in second. Gladiator's Best a strong third, followed by Gunslinger, Frequent Flyer Miles, Boom Shakalaka, Evergreen Terrace, and Bamboozler. Swamp Knocker, the mom. Let's go.
Congrats, Jimmy. How about that close? And
Ridiculous. Just
5
had to get
horses.
warmed up. I had to shake off the rust.
Yeah.
First part of the race.
It did
And
totally
then,
look. Oh, go ahead.
and then just knocked the whole field out there.
It did totally look like a 3 horse race here, but then it was really a 5 horse race there at the end.
For sure.
All right, congrats, Jimmy.
Great race there on the turf. Let's go to race number 6. 3 more races, I believe, here.
Yep.
As we will be ending with our Zenyatta Stakes. We've got our second claiming race of the day here, though, $90,000. So we've got some good ones here. A few D grade horses and a few F grade horses on the synthetic track. 8.5 furlongs. And Nate with 2 horses here. 2 D horses trying to get rid of here. And, what else you got, guys? Any other notes?
The main note I have for this one, this is all of these horses' first time on the synthetic track. So we'll have to see how they all respond to it.
All right. And yeah,
Nice.
the claims aspect is interesting because it's $90,000. And so it absolutely did pull some D grade horses into it. Um, we'll see.
Indeed, we will. All right, our beautiful synthetic track here, ready to rock, and they're off. Just the Messenger out to an early lead, followed by Gluten Intolerance. Albi now up into that top two. La Rambla, Qualis Tu Nombre, Fruche, and Checks in the Mail, rounding out our 7 horse field. Albi now, slight lead over Just the Messenger, Qualis Tu Nombre, La Rambla, all make it all right there as we pass the halfway point, keeping pace. La Rambla now in the lead. Qualis Tu Nombre there. Overtakes La Rambla. I'll be there in third. Just the Messenger. Checks in the Mail. Gluten Intolerance. All trying to make a run as we come down the stretch. I'll be right there. 3 horse race. Maybe four with Just the Messenger. And I'll be taking the lead and wins it for Nate. La Rambla finishing second for Zach. Qualis Tu Nombre in third, followed by Checks in the Mail. Just the Messenger. Gluten Intolerance. And Frush getting there in the trailing position. But Albie, Nate, another win for our season leader.
Good to
Hey,
see it.
congrats, Nate. And yeah, a little bit of Spanish in that race. Jimmy with La
Yes,
Rambla and ¿Cuál es tu nombre? Uh,
indeed.
all right. Well, it was a claims race. There were no claims.
Ooh.
Yeah, no claims. 90,000
No,
was
no claims.
no
Oh,
claim, yeah.
man.
Perhaps
A little
too
too
rich.
rich for everybody's blood.
Yeah. All right.
All right, we got 2 more. We've got our penultimate race of the day featuring my dark horse Renegade Chop, along with a few other C grade horses, 9.5 furlongs on the synthetic turf, and several former champions here. 3 that have won 2 races. And what other notes you got, fellas?
So not only did Unknown Artist win their last time out in the Sprint Championship, their last race on synthetic was also a win on race day 2. So
Ooh,
looking to get a streak going here.
Yeah.
indeed.
Unknown artist.
As an unknown.
Unknown. This unknown
Right, still
has
on.
won 50% of the time they've raced.
That's crazy.
All right.
Well, let's head
Penultimate,
out
Jimmy.
to our synthetic track penultimate race of the day. And they're off. Zach with Inventory Stickler and Snacky Chan setting the pace early. Element OP up there in second. Hanging Chad now in that top group. Spothead, Unknown Artist, No Thanks Diplomat, but it's Snacky Chan setting the pace as we hit the halfway point. Hanging Chad not far behind. Element OP there. Spothead as well, but Hanging Chad taking the lead. Spothead charging into second. And back and forth with Snacky Chan, Hanging Chad. That's going to be a tough one. As we come down the stretch, Snacky Chan, Spothead, OIC now making a run. And it's 3 horses, nose to nose. OIC taking the lead, and it's going to be a photo finish. Looks like Snacky Chan snags the win. OIC in second. So that's another 1-2 for Zach. Element OP in third for Walt, followed by Spothead, Unknown Artist, Hanging Chad, Inventory Stickler, Dungeon Master, No Thanks Diplomat, and my dark horse, Renegade Chop. What are you doing?
Well, she was a dark horse.
She was indeed lived up to the dark horse.
And hey, heck of a night for Zach, huh? Another
Yes,
1-2 finish.
Yeah, came to play.
indeed. All right.
All
And yeah,
right.
made it a little easier there with Snacky Chan and Hanging Chad not finishing right there together. But without further ado, our final race of the day, the stakes race you've been waiting for, the Zenyatta Stakes, 8.5 furlongs in the mud. And of course, females only, 9 of them. And as we know, Beach Carrot and Apology Accepted, your 2A grade. Apology Accepted, of course, defending champion. Beach Carrot, second in last year's race. And yeah, just a lot of excitement. Crowd is packed and in their seats. A lot of them standing, ready for the Zenyatta Stakes. What else you got, guys?
So other than Apology Accepted and Beach Carrot, everybody else in this race did not race in this last year. So maybe we can get a new winner challenging the other two.
Ooh, yeah, some fresh blood. And yeah, we got to mention Pernicious, and Zach's having a good night, but 5 career wins already multiple stakes wins. But I'm looking at this through the lens of the updated standings. So the first place, because this is a big purse. Uh, First place, Nate is not in this race. Second place, Alex is not in this race. But third, fourth, and fifth are. Third place, Kalen with wind up delivery is more of a long shot, but is in there. Uh, Fifth place, Charlie has a B grade horse, recency bias out of the rail position. And then Jimmy, you got in fifth place two horses that could, maybe make a move up in the
Indeed.
standings. All right, here we go.
Let's go. All right, back out to the track for the muddy Zenyatta Stakes. Last horse in the gate, and they're off. As stated and as if, setting the pace early. Beach Carrot now up there and pulling away from the field half length over As If, who has a full length lead over the rest of the field. Apology accepted there in third, followed by Recency Bias, Pernicious, as stated, wind up delivery, Trivia Night, and I Never Lechuga, but Beach Carrot not trying not to settle for second this time, As If the only one that is even close, but Beach Carrot, my goodness gracious. Huge victory in the Zenyatta Stakes for Beach Carrot and Brett. As If, an apology accepted, fighting for second. It's going to be close. Apology accepted, gets it by a nose. As If in third, followed by Trivia Night, Pernicious, wind up delivery, as stated, I Never Lechuga, and here comes Recency Bias, getting there finally to the finish line. But Brett, Beach Carrot, he can't get all that money back, but he got a big chunk back, didn't he?
He did, and man, that was one of the most dominant races in the history of
Absolutely.
our league, and in a stakes
Mhm.
race with good competition. Just a
Just ridiculous.
huge dominant win. And yeah, I can't help but mention that he could have been in first and got more of a death grip on first after this win, but
It's all right.
nonetheless,
Trust in the process.
trusting
All right.
the
So
yeah.
we'll see how that works out for him.
Congrats to Brett and Beach Carrot. Jimmy's second place isn't so bad either.
It's not. It's not first, but it's good. Good money. Big purse. We'll see if maybe I made a move. We'll see. We'll check that's the standings.
All right, yeah, let's go straight to that here. Um,
All right. Just a reminder, we've got some more stakes races coming up in 2 weeks. We got some more here. Make sure I get that right.
Yes, the Turf Championships.
There you go. Lewis Downs Turf Championships. And the 2-year-olds will start racing in 2 weeks as well. Very exciting. Very excited for that.
yes, and I got it ready here, and
All right.
we'll get right back to that. So watch the standings; they should update here any second. Should have submitted it earlier. There you go. Zach passing Johnny with the good evening. Otherwise, minimal shifting.
Yep. I got a little closer, but yeah, still in
Yeah.
fifth there.
Yeah. All right. So, guys, I cannot overstate how excited I am for next time out. We got 4 stakes races. Last day of stakes races before the Breeders' Cup meet, and then the 2-year-olds start racing, which is so fun, a new generation. But it's going to also be then the first time that owner bred horses, the horses that you all bred, are going to race. I can't wait to see
Yes.
Executrix and Combustication and Genghis Khan Man. What else? Cootie Queen. It's a Frostbite.
Yes.
We got a bunch of fun ones coming. Toe Beans. Might see Toe Beans in 2 weeks. Nay Anastasio.
Is the collector? Is
The Collector.
right
Yeah,
there?
I'm cheering for the
Yes.
I'm cheering for the owner bred horses. So
Nice.
don't miss it in 2 weeks.
Yeah, be there or be square, guys. Um, all right. That'll wrap it up here for Chris and Nate. I'm Jimmy. Thanks for staying and watching the Zenyatta Stakes, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a good one, y'all.
Thanks, guys.